Hello, my name is Thomas, and this is my ILT 5003 digital story. My pursuit for a Master's of Arts in Education with a concentration in curriculum and instruction was first rooted in me gaining a teaching degree so that I could become a football coach. However, after taking the beginning courses, I realized that I might be the other way around when it comes to coaching. You see, the more and more I learn about interdisciplinary learning and teaching methods, I get more and more intrigued about my growth in teaching and not coaching. I've been coaching youth for a long time, and a lot of what the readings are stressing really relate to how I as a coach interact with my players. On the teaching aspect, I'm a firm believer of knowing your audience is so that you can really make connection with them. A lot of themes look into only different aspects of how we teach, but also how the recipients of knowledge learn. Immersing yourself with your subjects and really understanding them goes a long way when trying to create positive dialogue. In the end, the more I read, the more I feel like I am going to be doing something I love every day that I do it. The main themes in this course will help me develop and expand my knowledge of interdisciplinary learning and teaching so that I can better serve my students. The four main themes I will be touching upon in this digital story are recognizing the socio-political nature of education, foundational theories in ILT, learning theories, and teaching diverse learners. I will also explain how I will try to integrate these main themes into my own practices for my future students. First, let's talk about the socio-political nature of our educational system. Gloria Golden described in her reading, A Brief History of the Education in the United States, that in the beginning the educational system started off strong, but has been weakened by unethical practices in funding and availability of education for all. If we go back and look at the history of education, we see that there are still a lot of traditional methods used today from when public education first started to apply to us. One thing I think should be recognized is that not everyone started out with the same advantages as others when it comes to education. There is an achievement gap, and we should recognize this injustices on all sides without guilt and strive to enlighten each other on such topics so that we won't let history repeat itself. This all goes back to understanding and focusing on progression instead of being stagnant when it comes to our educational growth. Social injustice in our education system is even further looked into by Gloria Lansing-Billings with her insight in her reading from The Achievement Gap to the Educational Debt, Understanding the Achievement in U.S. Schools. Bringing awareness to all that have started the race in education at a disadvantage is crucial to understanding our student population today. The debt caused from historical, economic, and socio-political agendas should be recognized and then addressed so that they never happen again. I have personally experienced these disadvantages as a student growing up, whether it be to lack of resources or funding, but I hope that my enthusiasm and preparation for teaching can sway the positive experience back into my future students' favor. This directly relates to the foundational theories of interdisciplinary learning and teaching. In understanding the different approaches to learning and implementing the best practices can lead to the most optimal learning environments for all of my students. I feel very strongly to a learner-centered philosophy when it comes to teaching, but I also feel my views can change or evolve in the future. I view myself as a personal guide to my future students when it comes to instructing them and helping them through a fulfillment of knowledge. This is where my coaching and teaching kind of intertwine, and that I can coach someone over and over, but it's up to them to execute the plays. Understanding how we process information and gain knowledge goes a long way when it comes to execution. I will be met with so many different challenges every day just by simply meeting different students from all walks of life, and it will be up to me to recognize how, what, and when they learn curriculum. Not everyone is going to be the same, and not all teaching is going to be relatable to the individuals. If I can combine the knowing your audience aspect with the most effective way to deliver my message, I feel this will lead to great success for me as a teacher. I would also like to be evolving through this growth and have take place to change in a rapid environment in education. Learning theories are the next major theme in the course. They are a way for me to engage with my future classroom and to ensure I apply some of the best practices available to me. Behaviorism, situated learning, cognitivism, constructionism, social constructionism, and andragogy. All of these theories can be practiced in the growth of our students from early childhood all the way through career advancements. I feel as teachers, these learning theories are pieces of a puzzle that we can use to create the picture of knowledge for our students. Our students are always changing and evolving, so we as teachers need to evolve. Knowing how these learning theories apply to my students and how they would interact with their own backgrounds is crucial to my teaching today and in the future. Teaching diverse learners. Change is sometimes something I feel myself gravitating to more and more as I read on social reconstructionism. I really enjoy reading about Paulo Freire and his views on education and social reconstruction. This change we should strive to bring about in our teachings by immersing ourselves into our students' lives is fascinating to me. Before you talk to someone and start telling them what to do, take 5 minutes out of your time and try to get to know them. 5 minutes is just a starting point of creating this back and forth dialogue. A relationship should be met on both sides of the equation in order to truly achieve positive change. The greatest thing that any teacher has ever done for me is actually take the time to get to know me before they started teaching me. I will try to view each individual that I come into contact with in teaching as a piece of canvas.